Welcome to Softcore History.
What is up? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host for the week, Rob Fox, joined as always by Dan Regester, and a very, very special guest this week, Ross Bolen.
Special.
TFM co-founder-ish, RBP, Ross Bolen podcast.
Writer of the Book of Frat.
Yeah, best New York Times best-selling author, although held up really by my rewrites on the book.
Oh, yeah. No, mostly. Mostly your hard work that went into that.
Yeah, the fucking 3 weeks that I was supposed to help with that. What's going on, man?
Not a lot. I'm happy to be here. Studio looks nice. Got the fucking Gladiator helmet next to me.
Yeah, it's spooky month here on...
Don't slop us up.
Gladiator
all right?
slash
Don't just come in here and
MF
just
Doom.
give us dome, all right? We don't need that.
It's called courtesy, Dan. That's how you start a podcast.
Just being nice.
That helmet's actually broken because one of the listeners wore it and had somebody hit him with a sword.
That sword
Oh.
doesn't work. It's not a real
broken.
helmet.
A guest did this?
Yeah, he came into the studio, sat at that very seat, put on the helmet, had somebody whack him in the head with the sword, and he bled. So not great for defense.
Great for content, though. I feel like that puts me in a really awkward position because I don't really want to get hit with a sword today.
Oh, no, he wasn't on the show.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, he was just wandering around drunk.
Oh.
He was
Yeah,
just one of the
just
fans.
Yeah.
Came in.
Fair enough.
You have those? They just come
Some.
to your house?
No. No, they don't come to the house, thank God.
Play with your toddler for a little while and just...
That's been a concern because our Bolen Media's headquarters is
Oh, it's listed. The LLC's got your
you
home
can,
address on it?
Yeah, you can find it. And I've got an employee living in there.
Can't you just P.O. box it?
I think so.
I would...
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah, that sounds like a real chore, Rob.
I barely get my mail at my apartment complex.
I check my mail once a month now.
Do you
Yeah.
have one of those stupid fucking neighborhood mailboxes?
At my house, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up because we have an HOA,
Yeah.
and this mailbox center was built in the 1990s, in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And they're really small boxes, and all of these old farts in my neighborhood are complaining that the mailman just shoves all the mail into these tiny boxes, and you can make a sexual innuendo if you want, but they're trying to replace the entire mail setup now, and it would cost us like $1,600 per resident to do, so we're obviously not
What?
doing it.
How?
But this is like a 35 email chain that's been going off for this whole work week so far. And it's really fun to read, but
It's just a metal box with
Listen.
different smaller boxes in it.
I've
With
had-
locks on it.
I've had so much beef with the post office and mailmen in general.
the Postal Service.
This one guy at my old apartment complex, if I didn't pick up my mail for 7 days, he just took it back.
They always do that.
It's fucked up.
They run out of room, or they think you're dead.
No,
They're like, you just get marked dead by the post office.
And then they leave you the note that you need to go pick it up.
I confronted him face to face, man to man,
doing his job.
and I was just like, "Hey, just leave it in there."
He's a civil servant.
Yeah, but
Thank him for
it's
his
happened
service.
multiple times, and then I also had to file that I lived there. It was weird.
I mostly just hate that I don't get mail delivered to my fucking house.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing when I moved to Texas and had a house in Texas for the first time. I was like, where the fuck is the mailbox?
Yeah. In Austin, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
That is not the way it was in Houston, where I'm from. Obviously, if you live in an apartment complex, you have a different.
But neighborhoods having a apartment complex mail setup in Austin is fucked up.
Yeah, that's how my house is.
And
it
can we
sucks.
address the real issue?
What's that?
These people aren't wearing their uniforms anymore.
No.
We just got a guy in fucking shorts and a tee delivering our mail. That could be anyone. I don't
Dude,
know
it's
who
not
you
even.
are.
It's a guy in shorts and a tee driving a minivan in my neighborhood.
What the hell?
Yeah.
We used to be a proper country.
Oh, I've got like a legit dude with the one at Bolen Media headquarters, which is in South Austin. He has the full on.
I need the button down.
He's got the hat.
I need the official shorts, and then I need the mid-calf
This
socks.
guy parks under a shaded tree and goes door to door with the
Okay.
bag, like old school. It's
Need
tight.
that, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
He better be a veteran too.
he probably is.
They're always hiring.
They're supposed to hire a lot of veterans.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Seems like a sweet job, to be honest. Doesn't seem that hard. So today, before you came, Dan was like, Ross is coming on, write something for Ross, which I usually do, or we usually do. We have a
try to
guest,
cater to your
the guest, right?
Yeah.
See,
So-
look at you guys.
I was like, what should I do? Like, Dan said pirates, but I'm not really into pirates. So
oh, fuck.
I'm not.
I told Ross Pirates.
That was my request.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't want to. You'll probably end up enjoying this, but at first I was like, all right, let's get clever with it.
Or you won't, and we'll just kind of drag this on.
That's fine.
And go back to mail.
Yeah, we just do mail all day. The history of our mail.
But what'd you come up with?
So I was if initially I was gonna do frat house ghost stories
Okay.
as a throwback,
Yeah.
but it turns out they're all the same. There's like no variance on those. There's not like 5 interesting, like very different ones. It's
Yep.
all just like person died in the house, lights flicker on and off, whatever. There was one that a kid allegedly was hazed to death, and there was another one where a girl was like lonely and like hung herself or something, but then her fiance showed up. He was just late, which feels dramatic.
Yeah, that kid couldn't hang, though.
Those are too dark.
He got
Yeah.
hazed to death?
Yeah.
Just couldn't.
And it just wasn't. They didn't do. But the hauntings weren't fun. I mean, anytime there's a haunting, it's typically it got there in a dark way. No one dies peacefully,
Right.
and haunts the area.
That's not how it works. Those ghosts just pass on to the next world.
right through the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like someone's doing a keg stand, and all of a sudden the beer turns to blood.
Yeah. I
That'd
mean,
be
yeah,
kinda
that
dope,
didn't.
yeah.
No, that didn't exist. It was all just like, oh, the
Be
lights
more
turned
creative,
off
guys.
again
Which we just know is faulty wiring in frat
in the
houses.
100-year-old house. Yeah. So I couldn't do that. I was gonna do something on the Vatican archives, but all of it's like so fake. All the ghost stories are like so fake that it's too much. So
He loves doing Catholic shit
I do love doing Catholic shit, and
to a detriment. Like, we're almost a Catholic podcast.
I mean, but like in a way where people are like, do they hate the church?
We're in a good
do, like, gas it up,
middle
but
zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you Catholic too, Dan?
Yeah.
Aren't you? Yeah. So
Irish
I'm,
Catholic.
I'm the only non-Catholic here. I'm Baptist.
We're
Yeah.
here to actually baptize you, Ross.
We gotta.
Oh, that's
We're gonna
huge for
convert
me.
you.
Huge.
We're not doing a podcast. This isn't going out.
I'm covered in sin, Dan. I desperately need the water of Christ to wash over
That's
me.
the cool thing about being Catholic, though, is you can just be really sorry at the end, but you're allowed to do anything until then.
Until then,
That's all Christianity, really.
my bad. And just jump into the.
You hear
Like
about
Hitler before he shot himself. just
one
was
prayer.
like-
Sorry,
He said a Hail
Yeah.
Mary, and he's in heaven now.
he's good.
Did you just say Hail Mary?
Yeah.
That's a good Hitler joke, Dan. You're sick. Okay, so what are we talking?
But I know you're like a Sopranos guy, and probably I think Boardwalk Empire too.
Yeah, just mafia in general.
Mafia in general.
I'm all about organized crime.
Yeah. So today we're talking about the hauntings surrounding arguably the most famous killing in Mafia history,
Oh.
the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Oh yeah. Hot.
So
Hear about this? Know about this?
You know about
I actually
this?
do. I know about this.
yeah, if you're unfamiliar, it was the murder. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre occurred in 1929 on Valentine's Day, and it was the murder of 7 associates of Chicago's North Side gang by Al Capone's South Side gang. They were all lined up on a wall and shot in a garage in Lincoln Park by 4 people they never figured out who did it, other than that they worked for Capone, but they never figured out who the actual
Well, Rob,
shooters
in the end, it never really matters.
It doesn't.
Isn't his name Alphonse?
Alphonse.
Yeah, Al Capone sounds way cooler.
Al-
Good that they shortened that. Because every once in a while, somebody will reference him by his full legal name, and I'm like, that just doesn't sound right.
I mean, but there's no...
Alphonse.
What other Al? There's no elongation of Al that is hard.
Yeah,
Alan?
Alfred.
Alvin?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're just gonna pass up on you guys not getting the Linkin Park reference.
It hit, honestly, it flagged for me. I was like, is that why?
I think
where
it's
Linkin
just Rob.
Park's name
Rob
comes
wasn't
from?
about that rock rap life.
No, I didn't sit at the crossroads of rock and rap.
That was actually my first concert I ever went to.
Was Linkin
It
Park?
was a Linkin Park, POD, Trapped, and Hoobastank concert.
Fucking
Oh,
nightmare.
sweet Lord.
I was in 3rd grade.
What?
Yeah, those vibes should
Were
not
you
have been.
emancipated?
They
Why
shouldn't
did
have
you
been
go to that?
accessible to you.
It was an awesome, actually, like kind of run there. I think in the same month I went to WWF Raw and
Oh yeah.
Linkin Park.
That's like the ultimate American 1990s vibes.
Yeah, that is an absolute on-brand early 2000s, late 90s.
But for a third grader, it's a little heavy.
Yeah, it's almost like the Delaware County Triple Crown.
What would be the third? Was there a third, you said?
I didn't. I never achieved it, but that's as close as I got.
I mean,
the third would have been throwing batteries at
Santa
Santa
so it had
Claus.
to be a Philly sports situation for sure. Someone puking on your mom at a Phillies game.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably punching somebody in a Redskins shirt, which today could hold up. You know, be like you could just play it off like you're anti-racist.
Yeah, you assaulted.
Anti-racist,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why you assaulted the Washington.
Violence in the
or
name
the
of
Braves
anti-racism.
fan, I guess, would be another. Yeah,
Yeah, dude, fuck your chop. You bigot.
I definitely didn't want to just punch someone in the face today. That's.
I mean, we single-handedly prevented the Canadians from spying on us. You're welcome, guys. Remember Hitchbot? Remember that little fucker?
Oh, the hitchhiking robot. That some Philadelphia monster
Went from
just
town
beat
to
the shit out of.
town, and a guy in a Randall Cunningham jersey destroyed and killed. You don't remember him?
No, what the fuck
It was
are you
like
talking
2015.
That the hitchhiking robot was taking that guy's job of,
What?
of hitchhiking.
He was collecting data on American citizens, and this brave patriot in Philadelphia took him out, and you're welcome.
It was a Canadian robot
It was.
spying on Americans?
That's Dan's theory.
The community takes care of it, and you pass it on to the next community, and he just goes across the country, and they, like, document it. Yeah, he was collecting data on American citizens.
Okay, Dan.
So you're welcome. Also, that
thank you for
Santa
your
Claus,
service.
first off, that Santa Claus that my grandfather threw snowballs at, he was a skinny Santa. They pulled him out of the crowd because the initial Santa didn't come for the halftime performance. We were also getting our ass beat. But they pulled this dude, this drunk fan, out of the stands who was wearing a Santa costume, but he was skinny.
I just
want a
like
skinny Santa.
I just like
Skinny
that
Santa.
your grandpa saw combat at an Eagles game and mine saw combat in Europe.
My grandfather also saw combat in Korea.
No, he didn't.
Well, he fixed planes.
Absolutely did not.
Yeah, he said he played basketball. It was the best time of his life.
He didn't see combat till he came home and went to an Eagles game.
He almost got murked at the airport, too,
By a plane?
by a plane.
Like a crash or something?
No, he was driving his little kind of golf cart or whatever across the runway.
Yeah, that'll. Oh,
And
so
the plane was coming down.
the plane was doing what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, he was in the wrong place.
Sounds like a him problem.
There's a lot of hymn problems in my family. My great-grandfather got electrocuted to death by a flood.
There's a lot of him problems in your family.
My other great-grandfather got kicked out of being lieutenant governor of Michigan for embezzlement.
Oh,
Shouts
shit,
to
okay.
Frank Murphy.
We should have done this show on your family and
I know,
all
right?
of the issues.
We
that
should
you've
really
had.
do need to do a Frank Murphy episode if you have enough information on
The
it.
thing is, too, in Michigan, there's two Frank Murphys. One actually becomes governor. That's not my great-grandfather. But the other Frank Murphy gets kicked out of office.
Nice. Well, the bar was set low for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
Should've
and
been a
you're,
waterman,
I
Dan.
think you're clearing it.
Yeah, no, I could have been a third-generation waterman.
Yeah, you're absolutely clearing it. So the murders were the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. It was basically, typical mafia competition, right? It was between the North Side gang, which was Irish, and the South Side gang, Capone's gang, which was Italian. So potatoes versus spaghetti. Spaghetti kills potatoes. It was a complete bloodbath.
Well, they can't mix, right?
You can't. No, it's
Nah.
yeah.
That's too many carbs.
It's a lot.
This is a lot of carbs.
It's a heavy meal.
Yeah. You're gonna sleep for days after that. So it was a complete bloodbath too. Like it was disgusting. Like they were lined up against the wall and at point blank range, 4 guys, 2 with Tommy guns, 2 with shotguns, just rip them to pieces.
Yeah, no pistol single headshots.
No.
It was like, yeah,
Just an absolute mess.
slaughter.
The victims included, so they were trying to hit Moran, who was the leader of the North Side gang, right? Because him and Capone had a deal that went south, mafia shit, blah, blah, blah. So they set him up. They're like, there's a whiskey shipment coming in, hey? And you got to get to this garage, see? And get the whiskey, see? And Moran sends his men. Yeah. Moran sends some of his men to go see it. He's not there. The ambush happens. 2 of the guys are dressed like cops. The killers are just like cops. They're like, you're under arrest, see? And then they put them in the fucking garage and blow their fucking brains out.
Oof.
What year do you think we lost that voice as the whites?
I think just mass media really killed the local dialects, right? So the more TV and radio, the less people because you don't want that on the radio. You don't want to be you don't want your local news to be today in local news, at 5 o'clock, 5 children were run over by a trolley car. You want
I do like that.
you want
that.
you want a
crave
calm 5 children were run over by a trolley car today. It just chills you out.
I think it was what's the name of the comic? He's huge right now.
Gillis.
He does Trump.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Shane Gillis bit that I saw recently in the form of a clip on fucking Instagram. He says we lost that accent the first time Jackie Robinson stepped up to the plate and got a hit.
He did. But I genuinely want to know that question.
How it got phased out?
Yeah.
No, it is fascinating because that what an insane way of speaking that I love hearing it, but it also would be pretty frustrating to try to decipher what people were saying if we still went with that.
It says it largely ended by 1950.
Yeah, so
the
Mid-Atlantic.
It's called the ha and the ha.
I guess
those
World War II really kicked it out of us.
Everyone starts mixing more. The regions get erased because everyone's got to go over to Europe. Except Dan's grandpa, and
he wasn't alive, really. Or I mean, he was alive, but he wasn't of age.
Yeah, he was just working that arm out.
That was a loss though for the whites because that was the most swag we ever had.
It's a great voice,
phonically.
It's a great voice, and now it's just the only things that are left are Boston and the South.
Yeah, but even in the South, there's no consistency anymore.
Yeah, you get the sort of fruity South Carolina, Lindsey Graham type of accent,
Yeah.
and then you just get the Texas drawl.
Which even that you only find if you go out to the actual country.
Right.
You're not going to run into a lot of people in Austin
You
or,
don't get that in Dallas.
Houston.
You need
or
a ranch
Dallas
hand.
probably more, but it's a fake version.
Somebody
of it.
working on the oil fields, yeah. Criminals, essentially.
So the victims of the massacre included Moran wasn't there, but his brother-in-law James Clark was killed, along with the gang's bookkeeper Adam Hare, another guy who worked for them, Albert Weinshank, two enforcers, Frank Gusenberg and Peter Gusenberg. So I guess the Gusenberg brothers were two guys you didn't want to mess with. And then there's the funniest one to die. I don't really have sympathy for any of these guys because they're probably all pieces of shit. But this guy probably wasn't a piece of shit, and he maybe deserved to die the most.
How so?
His name was Reinhard Schwimmer, and he was a 29-year-old optometrist who just liked hanging out with gang members. He thought it was really cool.
He just liked the vibe?
Yeah. He just thought it was really cool to hang out with gang members.
That was a mistake.
And he was like, "Oh wow, can I go to your illegal whiskey pickup?"
Oh shit! What was his last name? Schwimmer.
Schwimmer, like David.
He was a gangster groupie.
He was a gangster groupie, an optometrist too. So I'll give you free glasses if you let me hang out with you.
Oh man, the ultimate wannabe, and he got wasted in this massacre.
Accidentally wandered into the worst mafia killing in U.S. history.
The most famous mafia killing in history, and there's just an optometrist.
He's just sitting there like, "This is so cool. We're picking up whiskey, you guys. It's illegal."
Listen,
oh my God, we're about to get whacked.
We're still talking about him.
That's it's true.
His name lives on.
The notoriety he wanted, he achieved.
You got to wonder if anyone, he was just like, "Oh, I'm not with them. I don't fucking know them. I'm an eye doctor."
Why does he have the highest voice ever?
I don't know.
In our impressions,
You can't give him the whah. He doesn't get the whah.
No, definitely
doesn't.
not.
No.
It also would be funnier if he got tortured. I don't know why.
The more brutal, the better in his case.
Oh, but yeah, it just reminds me of that fucking tweet or whatever. Like, everyone wants to wear Carhartt till they have to do Carhartt shit.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a gangster till they have to do gangster shit.
Oh, dude, absolutely. It's funny because even I admitted at the top of the show, I love watching mafia shit. I love The Sopranos. I love Godfather. I love Casino. I love Goodfellas. But if push came to shove, I'm not cut out for that life.
No,
dude. And it's in part because the value of human life to those groups, in that lifestyle, is very low.
Nah, they have a
People
code.
just getting whacked left and right.
I mean, they do have a code, but
the code is that if you're in the game, you can be whacked.
Yeah, you can't really leave the game.
And it's business. It's not personal.
Actually, that's not true. Capone's partner, this doesn't really have anything to do with it, but when I was just researching, I found out Capone's initial partner, just got lit up outside a church during this war that was going on, and he was just like, I'm out. Like, he survived, but he just got like 20 bullets, and like his wife was next to him, and she almost got killed, and he's like, you know what, Al, you can have it.
He bailed.
He bailed, and he lived to the ripe old age of 75.
I think that was rare, though. Like they weren't cool about letting you leave.
I think it's pretty chill now. One of my best friends growing up, he actually listens to the show, so shouts to you. I won't say you by name. There are definitely some allegations amongst the friend group with his father.
What,
Runs a
like
sanitation
organized
company.
crime-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Went to the wedding.
See, we just don't have that
Is
down
he
here,
Italian?
though.
Yeah,
It
very
sounds pretty
Italian.
great. Oh, you're an Italian guy. You own a few garbage trucks. You got to be in the mafia.
There's
He
more
probably
than that.
is, though,
But yeah.
It's a stereotype, and it's
Yeah.
offensive.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
but
I believe it. But
it's for a reason,
Still
yeah.
offensive. Yeah, it's, you know. But yeah, so Schwimmer gets got, learns what the life is really like.
In his last moments.
Yeah. And so that's the abbreviated version of the story. We could do a whole episode just on the massacre, but we're here to talk about ghosts and shit.
Yeah.
So here is all the stories of the hauntings that take place around the St. Valentine's Day massacre site, which is in Lincoln Park.
So this is like the aftermath?
Yeah. This to this day, this stuff happens
Oh,
to this day,
okay.
allegedly.
Oh my god!
See, I don't know any of this.
Imagine being a ghost though and having to relive getting shot up every single day.
Why would I want to imagine that, Dan?
Just that's hell.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, maybe just later today when you're laying down, close your eyes and think about it.
Think about
few
that for a
hours.
while. Yeah.
If that's the type of thing you're into.
Another
wrong with
drive-by. No.
Fucking sicko.
So, the garage where the men were lined up and shot is now gone. I think it was torn down in the 60s. We'll get to that in a bit, actually. Instead, it's where the garage used to be. There's now a little grassy area between two apartment buildings. One of the apartment buildings.
That's precious space in Chicago too.
It is. One of the apartment buildings, unfortunately, is a retirement home.
Oh.
Where these ghosts apparently torment.
Oh, that's just the worst. Can you imagine
Your
fucking-
demented grandfather
You live your whole
seeing
life.
ghost.
Get to the end, your family sticks you in a home, and it's haunted by murdered mafia men. That's just.
And one really sad optometrist.
Or maybe that would make it more entertaining.
It would.
On the way, your last chapter in life. At least there's some excitement.
Like your family's not going to visit you. At least maybe Al Capone will.
right, or one of his
somebody
henchmen
showed up.
Yeah.
Uh,
or an optometrist.
Yeah, one guy's like, I'm not supposed to be here. It's like, it's a nursing home. None of us are supposed to be here.
Probably just confuses it with another inmate.
They're not even scared. They're just.
It's like, I mean, they look like someone from their youth, even. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Dad.
Yeah, they think they're.
They might be getting freaky.
They think they're being loved.
In those retirement homes, they love to fuck.
So one old guy who hangs around the site all the time, I think who lives there, says he just hears screams all the time.
Not what I want.
Yeah.
Well,
in
again-
your golden years, in the twilight of your life.
Again, are we sure that is ghost? That
Well,
could be
there's
the-
another thing we'll talk. So
That could be
another,
the screams of pleasure.
moans of. That's where you really. We were talking about this yesterday on our episode about he was like, no, moaning. When I hear the word moan, I think of sex, and I'm like, moan means like really, it's like painful. Like, yeah, you moan when you fuck, but really, like a moan is like.
I mean, it could go both ways.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you're watching like a horror movie with subtitles, you're gonna see some moaning, and not in a sex scene.
The whole
but
thing
I'm with you,
was-
Dan. Horny wise.
Yeah,
but I see
Moan,
the
Moan
word
and Myrtle
moan.
from Harry Potter, inappropriate name because she's a child.
But she's not moaning sexually, even though she does sexually harass all the
I
other
was gonna
children.
say she's very horny.
Yeah.
For some reason, and everyone was just fine with that.
I mean, she's only horny on other kids, I guess.
Yeah. Doesn't she go like goes like under
She
the
looks at
water
Harry's
and
wiener,
like
yeah.
looks at his piece?
Yeah.
His
And
magic
she
piece.
is hundreds of years
His
old,
wand, yeah.
technically, right?
No, she's like 70, 80 years old.
All right, well, that's old enough.
She was sultry for a child.
She was killed when the Chamber of Secrets was opened, Dan, and the Chamber of Secrets was opened in the 1940s.
By Tom Riddle?
Yeah, my fucking idiot.
How did Moaning Myrtle come into this? I'm glad she did. Don't
She's
get
a
me wrong.
ghost.
Yeah.
who moans. Yeah, but
well, the other day we were talking about ghosts that haunt the toilets and bathrooms
yeah.
of Japan.
I almost gave you that episode.
Ooh.
There's a lot there. For some reason, there's an entire subset of ghosts in Japan that haunt toilets.
Japanese, man.
They get freaky.
They
behind closed doors.
They got different kinks than we do,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Culturally.
Tentacles,
Yeah.
most notably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a great
tentacles and toilet porn. Like,
They love to get peed on.
map. If you ever want to show it on
There's
your
one
show.
thing I know about the Japanese. They love a good pissing.
Do they?
I don't
The
know.
pee-pee? I know they're tentacles. There's a map, though.
They more scat porn.
No, that's Germany. That's another country.
Yeah, that's
Any
Germany.
country that lost World War II is just
yeah, that's a good
Oh,
point.
the Axis is in shambles.
porn-wise. Yeah, it's
Don't even
not-
talk about the Italians.
I mean, they switched sides, so they got out of it a little bit. They killed Mussolini and hopped on our side. Not that they were very useful, but
Mussolini was a freak.
he probably was.
He was fucking.
Mussolini?
Yeah.
What do you make? What makes you say that?
We did an entire episode on all of his mistresses.
On how horny Mussolini
He was a
was?
huge horn dog.
Wow.
I think he was just Italian.
Yeah.
Like really.
Actually, that's just baseline for Italians.
Yeah, like it's horny to an American, but to an Italian, that's just like, yeah, you have your like lunch, you have lunch, and then like a little coffee, like an espresso after lunch,
And then you harass
fuck
a
your
woman.
19-year-old mistress. That's just part of the menu.
That's just life.
Yeah,
Well, since we brought it up, why are our American like kink stereotypes so lame, for lack
Boring?
of a better word,
Yeah.
compared to like all these other countries where they're doing like the tentacle porn? Like we all we did was just like slap step in front of everything.
And we know it's fake.
We know it's fake.
Yeah.
None of these people are fucking related by blood or otherwise.
not legally. Yeah,
Also,
why is
incest,
why is that the country's kink? That they
incest
settle on?
porn for like the British, that's standard for them anyway. That's generations.
This shit used to just be funny to me, and then I became a stepdad, and I was like, oh no.
well, I don't think is stepdad porn really that.
It's not nearly as
stepmom.
prevalent. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stepbrother, and all these people are getting stuck. That's what they do. They
Yeah.
get stuck
In
in the
the
washing
wash
machine. They
machine.
get stuck under the couch. That's what we came up with. The Japanese are over there getting full on every orifice filled by an octopus.
Yeah, like
and
an
we,
alien
and we're
king.
over here doing.
But also, how did these women make it this far in
Like what?
life? They
Like
keep
just-
getting stuck everywhere they go.
I don't know.
But-
It's very weird.
To your point, there's a certain amount of creativity that we put into them, gave to them, I think, by nuking them. And what I was going to bring
We
up earlier.
unlocked their sexuality. is
Yeah,
what
what
you're
I was
saying.
going to bring up. Yeah, we really like the atoms that we split. We also split open their libido.
Yeah,
too.
we neutered them with nuclear power.
But there's a map from we've shown it on a show before. But there's a map of fallout from Chernobyl over Sweden because that's where it went up over.
Floated
whatever.
over there.
It floated over there.
The
and
particles.
the parts that got hit with it, their number one porn search is hentai.
What the hell?
Everything else is like step or like anal, and then that area
Hentai.
hentai.
So you become radioactive, you become a beast.
It just changes. It changes the
Like
you know.
on your DNA level,
Yeah.
something is like breed with an octopus.
Huh. Yeah, we're pretty tame over here, man. We just the MILF and step and
Maybe if you want, someone go roll around on 3 Mile Island and tell us
see what happens.
Well, I
to
think
you.
we're gonna get
what gets
weirder.
you hard afterwards.
We're gonna get
where
much
your
weirder
desires go.
because they keep banning porn everywhere. So people are gonna go to other websites
Well,
that they shouldn't.
Maybe the microplastics will do something.
It's keeping us
There's
younger.
more than one way to unlock your inner desires.
Do you think eventually though we'll have so many microplastics in our balls it'll just kind of come out as we release?
You know, that's one of the stories that I've seen obviously bubble up over the past a year that I just refused to ever look into it.
Will it
I
feel
kept
like
seeing
pop rocks?
microplastics in our balls references on Twitter, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pass.
You know what?
I
I
just
mean-
don't want to know.
Your balls work.
Yeah.
So what
Like-
do you care?
Think they're fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
I don't miss whatever those microplastics are doing. It's if anything, it's making me more virile.
You know what
Yeah.
it is? We seek truth, but certain times I feel like we have too much truth.
Just too much information.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I just want things.
There is no truth anymore, Dan. There is no truth. Truth has been decimated by the
data.
internet.
No, I'm a truth seeker.
Now there are just different opinions, all of which are equally correct, regardless of facts.
Yeah.
And it's just personal feelings that are important
Vibes.
now. Yeah.
Live in the vibe economy
Yeah.
or a vibe session.
Microplastics made you more viral. Viral?
Viral.
Well, viral then viral.
Potent.
Yeah.
I'll use potent.
Yeah. I don't miss.
Because if you're viral, then you produce more children who then go viral when you exploit them on their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't have real farms
Content farms.
to do anymore, so now the children work the content farms.
Content.
Yeah.
I hate just because we're there. I hate Big Justice and all those little fat kids.
I need to go on the record.
I hate them all. I just want everybody listening to know that I can't stand those people. I feel like this is a new low point for our country, and I say this as a person who was a huge fan of the first 3 seasons of Jersey Shore.
They're horrific. Like
I don't know if they're the worst, though.
Don't care.
There might be... I mean, all the streamers in general are...
My theory on
Not
that is
great.
like it's all fun for that family now, but like one of those kids in like 8 years is gonna catch like horrific charges,
Dude.
and it's gonna be like, oh, the like Mike the Rizzler Dionato or whatever the fuck their name. You know what I mean?
The Rizzler's not even in the family.
Oh God.
He was an individual that got brought into the family.
He's like an Oompa Loompa.
I'm telling you,
They just steal him from another land.
the fact that everybody could see it coming, we all know 20 years from now what's going to happen.
He's going to OD.
is insane.
Well, first it's the charges, then later it's an OD. I mean, it's you can see the playbook.
that's if he makes it there. They're just pumping him full of Costco food.
That's also true.
you know?
Not eating enough rotisserie chickens. It's all cookies and whatever the fuck else they put in
Oh
them.
my God. Anyway, I'm out on those people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just the general
In
direction
general.
the internet's going, I'm out on.
Yeah.
I want to get out
Fair
of this.
The internet has probably jumped the shark,
Mhm.
I would say.
Like a long time ago.
In the last decade,
Yeah.
it truly did.
I'd say like 15, 16, it was over.
Jesus, dude. Fucking...
For when we were that age? 15, 16?
No.
Oh, 2015,
Yeah,
16.
yeah.
I was going to say, like, no, bro,
Apostrophe.
that was the
Yeah.
high point when we were
Apostrophe
15,
15.
16.
Twitter
apostrophe
is
16.
horrifying right now. I just saw last night, I had to turn off the app. I went immediately to sleep, and I was haunted in my dreams. I saw a aborted baby. Just came up on my fucking timeline.
Dude, it's a mess in there. You got to be real careful.
But that's curating to what you want.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Trust me.
Yeah, it is.
Not what you want, but what it thinks you want.
I don't want that.
But you're giving it those vibes.
Somehow you gave it the impression that
I've
you
seen
wanted
war
abortion
footage.
content.
I've seen people getting murked on the streets, and this was in no way am I ever touching the abortion issue
You know
or
what
clicking
mine
on
is?
abortion
It's
stuff.
all politics
Yeah.
all the time. And you know what I
Mine
don't
too.
want?
Politics.
Politics.
I don't either.
But I swear to God, my phone, like, here's a political commercial coming from the TV, and it's like, serve this fucker up every fucking Kamala and Trump clip we have available today, and mix in 26 Costco guys videos. And I'm like, what is this? Is why people are depressed and anxious and miserable
Yeah,
in
I want to put a bullet in
2024.
my head.
Anyway, back to our story.
Knows
But
you better.
I'm out on the Costco guys and Big Justice
So-
and all that.
I'm glad you're on the record for that. Though.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's brave of you.
Thank you for
that.
giving me this space.
So
Boom.
another, like I said, these ghosts haunt in large part a nursing home. So at one point,
Sure you did, Grandpa.
well, that
Sure
literally,
you did.
that's literally what I'm about to tell you. So at one point, this woman with dementia kept complaining, "There's men in pinstripe suits and hats in my room. They won't leave me alone." Fuck. And they were like, it's like the meme, like, "Okay, Grandma, let's get you to," and she just kept being like, "Get away from me, no!"
They give her another pill.
Yeah, and so
leave.
eventually they're like, "Oh my God, this fucking bitch whose brain doesn't work will not shut up about the guys in pinstripe suits. Let's just move her. Let's just put someone less crazy in this room. We'll move her." So they put a patient without dementia in the room, and he's like, "A bunch of guys with fedora hats just walked in here." So the woman with dementia was like, "No, it's real."
See? I tried to tell
But they were like, "Yeah, whatever, dude." They're like, "Okay, Grandma, whatever you say."
The fedora has also been co-opted by the weak. Like, it used to be a signal of strength.
Well, it's gone now, but when we were
in the era,
college,
it was back in the era where everyone said, "Look here, see."
yeah, there was
Then fedoras were for badasses.
No, it's ironic.
Is anyone wearing fedoras
No,
now? Though
fedoras
I
are
feel like
dead.
that they're out.
Maybe somebody who's like juggling on the quad.
I don't know. I feel like that's all
suspenders.
gone now. I think we shamed those people out of
it was
existence.
a big like 2010, 2011.
it was
Like the
because-
guy
it
that
was- yeah. Then it
rides
was
a
a problem.
unicycle.
Oh God.
Fedoras had made some kind of weird comeback when we were at the tail end of our collegiate careers, and that was some weird. It was terrifying to see, and none of them would have been made men.
No. I really want to know. Like, I want to like interview just like women, like who fucked a guy who was wearing a fedora that night.
Put him on a list.
Like, I want to know.
Actually, put him on the no-fly list.
What? I was like, because there's no way you found that attractive. So what? What outweighed?
How
that?
did you work around it?
Yeah. Like,
He had such aura.
Was he wearing a tight T-shirt and you could just see like rippling six pack and you're like, okay, the hat.
I can see past the fedora.
Yeah, I want to know. But yeah, so the grandma was like, please, and finally they believed her after a non.
What about like a Havana hat?
It's like the same. Oh no, there are. It's just a straw fedora, basically.
It's
right?
like we're on vacation, I guess.
Yeah, you can wear.
It's justified.
You can pull that off. The only place you can pull any of that shit off is at the Kentucky Derby. So that's pretty much it.
Because you're essentially going back in
Because you're
time.
surrounded by other people who also look insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need.
It's kind of the bit.
Yeah.
There are also pretty standard ghost reports from the area. People hear men's voices when there's no one around. You can hear also literally basically the event being reenacted.
Oh.
You'll just hear like, oh no, I'm an optometrist.
Oh, God.
Please.
That's not what you want.
But that also could just be like Chicago.
Dude, I can also do all these ghost stories. They always like, if one thing happened at my house, if one night I was laying there and heard somebody, yell like, "I'm an optometrist, please," and gunfire, that would be it. I wouldn't. The next day, I wouldn't be like, "I'm pretty worried about what happened last night. Hope it doesn't happen again." It would just take the one haunting for me to abandon the entire home and burn it to the ground and move on and start somewhere new.
You're not even going to try to resell because you got to disclose that information to the realtor.
You do haunted. There's no mold.
Well,
but
I'm not putting that on somebody else. Just move some other fucking poor family in there, and then they get haunted and their lives destroyed. No, you got to get out.
I'm going to try to get in with the fucking ghost mafia.
Try to make a connection there. Do some
See
work
how
together.
that goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a benefit.
I don't think they have a lot of power.
Not these days, no.
No, like
It's the main mistake people make in these scary movies. They try to ride it out. Oh, maybe it'll get better.
right, or they try to like outsmart the ghost.
They try to ignore it for the most part, but you need to kind of come to common ground.
You got to reach out.
You got to reach out
You gotta
and
do a
kind of
seance.
extend an olive branch to the ghost.
And then my favorite thing that happens is with this in the where the garage used to be is an open grassy space now. When it snows in Chicago, you can sometimes see the outline allegedly of 7 bodies in the snow where the garage used to be.
Yeah.
So just I don't know if it's like a lump, like the snow's covering the bodies,
Right.
or if it's like the
snow
bodies
can't fall
indented
there.
into the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah.
I mean, that could also just be a modern body.
Again, Chicago, so you don't
It is
really
Chicago.
know. Like if that happened in St. Louis, I'd be like, well, let's brush the snow off and see what's there.
Chi-Town stand up. I love Chicago, by the way. It's my favorite city
great
in the
city.
U.S. to visit.
It's a great American city.
Huge fan.
Now's the time. It's like perfect in the summer and fall. It's winter, don't.
It's
Just don't. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I should have been clear about that.
Yeah.
I will not go
great, like
when it is cold and windy.
There's a good 4 months.
Good, like 6 months. I
Some
mean,
of the best 4 months.
you go to Wrigley Field for a fucking game and shit like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's glorious. But you go to Soldier Field for a game and you want to kill yourself.
Also, stay the hell away from this old folks' home.
Yeah, right? And actually, the other funny thing, or I guess if you want to call it funny, I think it's funny.
You got to laugh to keep from crying.
Exactly. This particular old folks home is, it's like owned by the city. It's for like poor people. It's for old people who can't even afford. It's like public elderly housing.
Oh, hell. Oh, he's fucking... This is as bad as he possibly can get.
Literally, yeah.
Jesus.
And the city actually owns the site and has said they will never build anything on that where the garage was again. It'll just remain open forever. Trying to air it out, I guess.
Yeah,
until-
see if maybe...
Yeah,
things
but now
will
it's a
improve with
grassy
time.
area. You have little kids play on it. Fucking throw a football. It just goes
Yeah, the
disappearing.
children go to visit their demented old grandparents, and then they go out on the haunted lawn.
Yeah.
to play.
Play
Yeah.
catch with me, Grandpa.
The ball just gets deflated because a bullet hits it.
Oh, God.
A
Yeah.
ghost bullet.
When the garage was raised, by the way, when it was taken down. And the other apartment next to it on the other side reports of like poltergeist activity, like shit flying off the shelves, encounters, but no figures or anything like that allegedly. But anyway, the garage was torn down in the 60s. And the bricks from the building became collector's items. People wanted specifically of the wall they were lined up against and shot.
That's almost as weird as people who collect like Nazi paraphernalia.
Yeah. Although I will say, I just learned the other day that Hitler had a gold Walther PPK, like the James Bond gun from GoldenEye.
What?
Yeah, with
He had a lot of sick
AH on the
stuff.
handle.
With his fucking initials on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like that's a haunted gun though. I don't want that in my crib.
He did all the occult stuff too. He was like searching for like the spear of destiny. He's got
Hitler?
some like things from ancient civilizations that I'd be down to get.
So you know what? I just don't.
But that's not Nazi paraphernalia. That's Jesus paraphernalia that the Nazis held on to for a little bit.
I just don't want to. I don't want to learn anything new. Period. No, about Hitler. I don't want to learn new stuff about Hitler.
I'm full.
His
I
paintings are
know
actually
as
reasonable.
much as I need to know about Hitler. I feel like people these days are like fascinated with fucking Hitler facts, and I just don't.
It's because it's the only.
Other than the gold Walter.
Well, I mean, that's just
Walter
like a fun
PPK.
tidbit. I don't need
Yeah.
to know about like his philosophies or like, you know what I mean? Like,
just-
oh,
I'm
what did
just-
he say about?
Yeah, no, Hitler didn't have a point, guys.
Yeah.
There was no
In
point.
case we need to reiterate this, but it's kind of like the.
It does need to be reiterated, apparently.
I know it's kind of like the inverse of people being like, "Was Michael Jordan that good? I don't know. I didn't see him play."
Yeah, it's the most contrarian opinion you can possibly have, which is why, like, when Kanye threw it out there, I was just like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me," you know?
My joke
Do you
about
still listen to him? I'll throw
No.
Kanye
Look what
at
he's
the
wearing.
gym.
Every once in a while, no, I really don't.
Old Kanye.
I know,
though.
but you got the Yeezys on.
Yeah, because I love these shoes.
Listen, every fashion designer has some skeletons in the closet. All right.
You can't only. Well, you should try, but you can't only buy stuff from non-shitty people. It's
I
impossible.
know. I'm the opposite. I would never.
If anything, the shittiest of people make the best products.
Yeah, I would never point that out or be like, "Oh, you bought from this," unless someone was shitting on me for it, and then I'd be like, well,
But in fairness, this is the only pair of Yeezys I've bought in like 3 years.
Used to be a big Yeezy head.
I
know.
I have a lot of them in my closet.
my joke about Kanye West is that this is what happened. This is what would have happened if no one shot John Lennon.
Yeah, probably. That's where he was headed.
Listen,
But you just get to a certain point where you're like, well, I can't possibly get any more attention, so I have to find a way.
Right.
do you believe the conspiracy that he's been replaced by a clone?
No.
Okay.
No, he's detached from reality and not on medication and
Probably.
diagnosed bipolar.
Is it weird, though, that I will still listen to Kanye when I work out, but ever since Kendrick kind of buried Drake, I have a hard time throwing on Drake.
Any Drake song comes on now, so I just feel like a little gay. I'm just like,
Yeah,
what
I
is
feel
a
like a
little-
bitch.
I feel soft.
I feel like a bitch. I'm like, this doesn't get me like I used to.
No, I'm the same way. It's embarrassing,
But
but
he
it
was
is.
always soft.
I know. That's what's so stupid
Yeah,
about it.
it's
It
very
doesn't-
dumb.
It makes no. I
It
knew
wasn't
it
like you woke up like, whoa, Drake isn't hard.
for years. My Spotify Wrapped would come out, and Drake would be in the top 5.
Always
and I'd
like
look at
2.
myself in the mirror and be self-loathing and feel hatred
But
toward who I am.
You shouldn't, though, because he got nothing but
the
hits.
most basic bitch in the world. And
It's
then
formulaic.
now,
but
and then
it's
Kendrick
good.
buried him, and now when his songs come on, I'm like, I can't even do this
I know.
anymore. I need to be a better man. Kendrick
I'm-
made me want to be a better man.
Occasionally, though, a Future song will come on and a Drake verse will pop up, and I'm like, I gotta switch, gotta change.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed of myself because Drake had such a monumental, he had such a big part of my life.
But he's
especially in
not like
college.
us, Dan. That's the problem.
Yeah, dude, he's definitely not
No.
like us.
He's not like
No. Well,
not like us.
in that way. So
I mean, that's how Kendrick
actually.
means it.
this was so the bricks were huge collector's items, and this was especially the case if they had blood on them or bullet holes in them.
Oh, yeah,
people really wanted the good ones.
Those are the top dollar bricks.
Yeah. Some people reported the bricks being haunted and cursed.
Oh,
Can you
dude,
imagine buying a brick,
A cursed brick.
bringing it home, realizing after a couple weeks, like, honey, I made a mistake.
no, you do it
Yeah,
for your
like-
rival, right? You snag a brick, a cursed brick, and gift it to somebody you hate.
Yeah,
That'd be a weird gift. Thanks.
but you have to low key hate them.
Yeah,
Like,
you're-
because
it's
if they
not
know
obvious.
you hate them, then obviously
They're
they
going to
don't.
accept it.
It's
Yeah.
like your boss, right?
Yeah, hey, I got you this cool old brick. I know you like architecture.
An Alphonse Capone brick.
Well, the bricks were like people would get sick, like with bad disease, like leukemia or something.
Yeah, dude.
after
Maybe
getting
you
the
try to
brick, or-
climb the corporate ladder, so you give the person above you the cursed brick, so they die.
Yeah, but then you move into the office and you find the brick, and then immediately
You pass the buck.
die.
You just
Yeah.
keep moving up.
People with the bricks would also get in bad accidents or whatever. Like Honey the toddler fell down the stairs for the 5th time.
Final Destination bricks.
It's time to get rid of the bricks.
Yeah. Got to get rid of those bricks, bro.
So obviously with these cursed bricks and the rumor spread of it, one might think you might want to be careful about them. In 1967, George Patey, a Canadian businessman, bought 414 of these bricks.
He's like, I ain't afraid.
And built his own home with it?
Yeah, he built
what
a
did he
cursed
do with
home
these
out of
bricks?
the
Well,
cursed
what he
bricks.
ultimately did with them was put them in a 1920s theme, Roaring 20s themed club he built in Vancouver. And the bricks in particular were in the men's room, and you could piss on them.
Oh, wow.
On the cursed bricks. So imagine taking something out of King Tut's tomb and tossing it in a urinal and then being like, hey, guys, if you want to piss all over this cursed amulet,
Let it rip.
come on into my bar.
I mean, that's essentially what they're doing with King Tut going on tour all the time.
You're just asking for it, pissing on cursed materials, man. Can't be peeing on blood bricks.
No, especially like brick. Like that. This was only like 40 years after someone was killed. Like imagine, so like someone's murdered in the 80s for right now. Someone's murdered in the 80s, and like, hey, this person was murdered on this carpet. Do you want to piss on it?
Yeah, I don't
Would
want to
be.
piss on dead people's stuff.
No.
I do love the idea of taking a bunch of cursed mafia murder bricks and making a club.
Yeah.
But what? Then that wasn't a good enough idea. He was like, you know what? Let's get even
Up
fucking
it, yeah.
sicker with it.
What if the
What if it's
cursed-
the bathroom and dudes piss on it?
The Mafia bricks, though, they just have a funny sense of humor, and you do piss on it, and they're just like, we're just going to make your dick smaller.
The brick does?
Yeah.
It would actually be.
Shrinks your
It
penis?
just shrinks your dong.
It'd be sweet if it just like, you know how in movies or like in horror movies, like you'll turn on like a faucet or a bath or a shower, and like the water will turn to blood when
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
looking. Or whatever.
Or you can never get
just
hard
start,
again.
You just start pissing blood. Like you look down and it's just like bright red optometrist blood coming out of your dick.
You pee on blood bricks. That's what you get, man.
No, I think it's more chill. It's just like you can never get hard again. You're just rocking kind of a nub. It's like, what happened to my penis?
That'd be like 70% of society already, though. You'd just be
It's-
another one.
That's like a Stephen King, right? Like a gypsy's just like softer,
Softer.
softer.
More flaccid.
So that bar closed down, and
Shocking.
Yeah, it didn't work. This guy actually had several failed business ventures with the bricks. They're now actually
He
constructed.
just kept going?
He kept several things.
Double
Oh,
down.
shit.
Tried to make a mafia museum that failed.
Don't admit defeat.
Tried to take him on tour, and no one wanted to see him.
Persistent, this
yeah,
guy.
so they cursed his businesses.
He was so confident these bricks were his thing.
Yeah.
And this was how he was going to make his
That was
nut.
his ticket.
And then he just kept failing and he couldn't stop.
Yeah. Now those bricks are actually in the Mob Museum in Las Vegas,
Ooh.
reconstructed into a wall, so you can go see them.
Did either of y'all know off the top where the Mafia Museum in Vegas is?
No, I didn't look it up.
I've only been to Vegas once, so I'm not a big Vegas guy. I don't know a lot.
Is it off
but
strip?
I
Do you
wish I had been to that because that sounds tight.
Mm-hmm. It seems like something that would be on the strip.
The
I'm
Las Vegas Mob Museum.
Like-
They have like a speakeasy in there and everything. Shit.
That's where the bricks should be.
Is
for
that
the
like
record.
New York, New York?
Oh, it's in downtown Vegas.
That doesn't mean anything.
It says down. I mean, the map says downtown Las Vegas.
So strip.
No, I don't think it's the Strip, but it's just right in the heart of the city. Like it is right dead ass center on the city.
What do you want the address, Dan?
Yeah,
like
kinda
you
did.
fucking know it.
What are you gonna?
You could tell me a building it's in, like a casino.
It's
It's
not.
by.
It's in its
It
own
looks like
building.
it's standalone.
Yeah, it's across the street from the Grand Hotel and Casino.
You think any casino would let him bring those fucking bricks in there?
Every slot's just fucking hitting.
Just hitting
every fucking
jackpot?
time.
Yeah, dude, hell no. They're real what's the word I'm looking for when you believe in luck?
Superstitious.
They're real superstitious up in those casinos, Dan.
I don't think they are though. I think everything's calculated for you to lose.
Well, yeah, the house always wins.
Yeah.
Unless the house has blood bricks in it.
Yeah. So there's one more ghost story, haunting story from the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and it involves Al Capone himself.
Alphonse.
So Alphonse was arrested, I believe in Philadelphia, actually, shortly after the massacre on a concealed weapon charge or something like that, which
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't
I
even know
mean,
existed at the time.
His dick did get cursed eventually.
I think he actually already had the syphilis at this point. Just takes it takes a while to get into your. You don't get it in like hops right into your brain.
That's what he died of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Syphilis.
Yeah, it seeps into you.
Ugh.
How does that break you
Slowly.
down? I guess I've never really looked into it.
It just like gets into your
Is
internal
that a threat
organs in your
still?
brain. If
Could
you
I
don't
g-
treat it,
Oh yeah.
Could I get syphilis?
but you just take like a pill and it's fine. And he could have actually had it treated too, but he was too embarrassed about it. He was like, oh, I don't want people to know I have syphilis. And it's like, well, everyone knows now because you're fucking insane.
What a classic issue. Man who doesn't want to talk to doctor about problem he has that will eventually kill him.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's fucking health 2.0.
Just
I don't need that.
keeping it in, not ever revealing the issue or getting help. Don't seek help. That's the message.
You can beat this.
That's fucking propaganda, Ross. You can take care of it with diet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's you need to believe in people. You can beat this, man. I got you. But so Capone was arrested for this gun charge or whatever, did some time in Philadelphia and in a very lavish prison cell. I think it's the prison cell, the famous one you see pictures of with like the radio in it and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen it before. I think that's the one. I'm not positive. Either way, anytime he was ever in a prison cell, they did it up for him. Like, here you go.
Turn it into a hotel room.
Basically, yeah. So the story goes that as soon as he got into jail, Capone was immediately haunted, tormented by the ghost of James Clark, one of the victims of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Not Schwimmer, unfortunately. Clark was Moran's brother-in-law, and according to legend, at night, the other inmates would hear Capone screaming and being like, leave me alone, Jimmy. Stop. Oh, Jimmy. This ghost is just like fucking with them all night long.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. Look here.
Yeah, no, it's just business, see? But in the morning, the prisoners would be like, hey, Al,
You okay, man?
did you have the radio on last night? What was going on in there? And he would just be like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to, shut up. Don't ask me questions.
Make it stop. Alphonse was not a good communicator. He wasn't good at sharing.
Clearly.
Bottled it all up until it killed him.
Every great man refuses to admit they had a supernatural experience.
Yeah.
Napoleon went to the pyramids and apparently stayed in the emperor, the
Pharaoh's tomb.
tomb, and something happened to this day. Like, and on his deathbed, he was just like, "Don't worry about it. Like, I'm gonna take that to the grave."
Since you brought it up, and I'm pretty sure y'all talked about this, but did y'all watch the Napoleon movie?
No,
The Ridley
I
Scott
never
one?
did,
I heard
'cause
too many
it was
bad
so
things.
fucking bad.
Yeah, you don't need to waste your time. But I was like, one day I just broke. I was like, no, I have to see.
Yeah.
I have to see. And it is like Joaquin Phoenix mailed it in as hard as you possibly could. I almost recommend watching it at some point. Like if you have like a sick day or something.
Well, I
and
heard
you're
they
just
had to
like-
rewrite around how he's acting.
No, they didn't have to. Ridley Scott was like, this is fucking brilliant, and started just sculpting
See, I heard the
around him.
complete opposite.
Which
I
was
heard
a
Ridley
mistake.
Scott was like, "Fuck, Joaquin Phoenix is too far gone. I can't reel him in, so I got to write around it."
Maybe you do have to watch it because I don't even know if I can explain. It's kind of fascinating. I kind of always wanted to see a movie about Napoleon.
Same.
I heard Joaquin Phoenix is doing it, and I was like, holy shit, Ridley Scott, holy shit. Comes out, you see all the bad reviews and whatnot, and they were all accurate. Like, it is a total dumpster fire, an utter waste of money and time. And
What's
there's
going on with
they put out like
Joaquin?
an extended director's cut version. With
Joker
like
2 is
30 minutes more.
apparently awful too. Like
Yeah,
Joaquin's on a
I've-
bad
I've
run.
not heard good things about that either. He's a wild dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a weird past, like how he grew up.
When his brother overdosed in that club or whatever.
Oh
And he-
no, how his parents raised him in that church where
Oh
they,
yeah. They were like a
sex
cult.
And then
Yeah.
also, like, he's a child star
Yeah.
in a child star. He's like, the Phoenixes are basically like the, like, punk rock Culkins. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what I mean?
tough to be normal
Yeah.
living that way your whole life.
Yeah, I think his parents like fucked him or something.
Anyway, Napoleon. What? Napoleon is such a failure on so many levels. That movie.
deserves so much better.
But I have
oh my
I
God.
still have so much hope for Gladiator 2.
I've heard it's amazing. Like I've heard great things.
He's
that-
bouncing back. It's good to see Ridley
Yeah,
Scott get
yeah.
one.
He's had a couple L's in a row.
Yeah, we need to get him on
He's
track.
old, you know.
Yeah. He's just trying to stay alive by making movies at this point.
It's him and
Eastwood.
what's the dude who did fucking? Oh my God, what's this insane movie that's in theaters right now?
Oh, the one with Adam Driver.
Francis Ford Coppola, Megalopolis.
Yeah, him and Coppola are out there just trying to keep themselves alive by cranking
Apparently,
out movies.
Megalopolis makes Napoleon look
Brilliant.
masterful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some like insane scene. I think with Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Go back to the club. Was it that scene?
No, I have seen that scene, though.
No, it's like
Yeah.
a sex scene.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it for that.
I don't even know if she's in the movie, but like I
She is in
thought
the
it
movie.
looks like Aubrey
I will be
Plaza.
watching that when it hits streaming. I will not be paying $68 to see it in theaters.
No.
I eat in there, Dan.
Well, yeah, I get that, and then you got to pay for the tickets. It's a whole night.
It's a thing.
Especially with the family. I mean, if you're going on a date, you're spending with the alcohol, the food, close to $100
Go back
every
to
time.
the club. Yeah.
Easily.
Anyway, Napoleon sucked. Sorry for the
Yeah, no,
sidetrack.
it's all good.
But with such low expectations, maybe I'll actually like it. Because there had to be some dope battle scenes.
The battle scenes I've watched on YouTube are
No?
kind of mid.
I'm telling you, man, it's
All right.
thoroughly disappointing
nothing
through and through.
redeemable
Yeah,
about it.
there's not a lot of redeeming moments in that thing.
So apparently the inmates would also hear, like, I guess, like, even Jimmy got tired of just tormenting him, so they'd chat sometimes, too. They just, dude, like, I'm just tired today. What was the score of the Cubs game? Or
Give me
is it,
some give me some updates from the world.
Yeah, they just talk. And again, Al would be like, I don't want to talk about it. But eventually Al gets out, and he's like, I can't. And Jimmy follows him.
Oh.
Just follows him around for the rest of his life. And Al's like, I can't fucking take this anymore. Hires a psychic to try to exorcise Jimmy away from him.
In prison?
No, this is outside of prison. Jimmy follows him out of prison. Follows him everywhere.
Al gets out, Jimmy gets
And
out.
he's just like, you're a murderer. You're a fucking dick, dude. And so he gets a psychic to try to, like, exorcise, send him to the other side. Doesn't work. Jimmy hangs around to the point where later in life, Al Capone's bodyguards would often rush into his bedroom at night, hearing him screaming and shit at Jimmy, thinking he was, like, being attacked. And there'd just be no one there but Al Capone.
Okay, so just to get real about it for a second, you hear a lot of stories like this about like mafia dudes, and there's even even in The Sopranos, there's a storyline where Paulie Gualtieri goes to a psychic, like a séance, because he keeps having this nightmare every night and waking up at 3:33 in the morning, and when he goes to the séance, the psychic basically tells him, long story short, everyone you've ever murdered is like following you, like all these ghosts are following you.
Yeah.
Paulie has like a meltdown, calls it like satanic black magic, and like throws a chair and runs out. Anyway, point being, it feels like stories like this about Capone, like Capone had a lot of people killed, right? A lot of blood on his hands. And I don't care how sociopathic or like sick you are, it does something to you.
It's going to break you down in some
Slowly
capacity.
but
Yeah,
surely.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the guilt you would carry from like all of your sins would get to you. And sometimes I think stuff like this, stories like that, are like a personification of all that guilt. Like you literally start to detach from reality.
Yeah. And he also does have syphilis rotting his brain.
And that too did not help.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like, yeah, it's like I think a lot of those stories are rooted in something real, and that is like guilt and shame, and because that shit does bad things to your brain.
That's kind of what I learned from The Sopranos. That, and also apparently the mafia thinks it's gay to eat pussy.
Oh yeah, you can't
Can't
go
pussy.
down south, Mexico
It
way.
makes you a weak man.
Yeah, what a weird viewpoint that was. That permeated everywhere too. Because I remember that in like high school, that was a thing. Like, you didn't want to talk about eating box because that was frowned upon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why I was doing it.
I want the record to show. Yeah, I am pro munching box.
Yeah,
I actually wrote
absolutely,
an article about it.
100%. I don't know why. It's kind of fun actually. It's very enjoyable.
Blast. It's very, whatever. I mean, maybe it was worse back then.
Especially when you got like a
fight through some muff,
subpar
yeah.
piece. You're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, dude, I gotta do what I can with this tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
It's a lot of like battlefield prep, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if Capone.
Felt guilty or not.
Let me put it this way. I'm 37. I've never seen a ghost. Never had a ghost experience. So I'm not sure how I feel about the existence of ghosts and hauntings. But I do think a lot of these stories have something to them. That is my point.
The thing I find interesting is that I feel like a lot of people get, like, after a while they get guilty or maybe feel guilty about it. But this happened like halfway through his career.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jimmy thing. So
He
it's
just
like
kept fucking going.
Yeah. Like this was just a brief stint in jail. Like he got out and like kept cooking.
Went
for
back
a while.
to crime.
Yeah.
Oof. Well, once you're deep, and he was deep. Like, what you can't turn back now.
No.
Can't go just live a straight life.
Oh,
Gotta
he
keep being a
kinda did
gangster.
eventually. He got
Really?
he got let out of jail because he was just so fucking crazy off the syphilis. They just let him go live in Florida till he died.
No shit.
Yeah, if he died on the beach, dude, like he was.
Huh.
He kind of had a nice little life there at the end.
And wasn't it like he got popped for tax evasion eventually?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
they always
didn't
catch
even
you
get
on
him
that.
on like murder and racketeering.
Nah, they just wanted to get him behind bars.
Huh. Pay your taxes,
Yeah.
Dan. I'm looking at you, Dan. Pay your taxes, Dan.
Well, don't kill any. If you don't pay your taxes, don't murder anyone.
Right.
Right. That also important.
Can't do both.
And if you get syphilis, see a doctor.
Mhm.
Get the help you
Take that pill.
you
Yeah.
deserve. They can take care of these things these days.
Sores on your penis are real. Yeah,
See-
it's like a one pill, and it's like, oh, it's gone.
See, today's episode comes with life lessons.
It does.
Always does.
But that's all I got for today. The hauntings of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Ooh.
What'd you boys learn today?
Make good choices. Get
I-
checkups regularly.
I learned if somebody offers you a cursed brick, you avoid that purchase.
A brick with a hole in it?
Stay away from cursed bricks. Yeah, that's huge.
Maybe don't hang out with gangsters.
If you're not one,
Yeah.
if you're a fucking,
If you're not in that
if
life,
you're an optometrist,
don't pretend to be
Right.
in that life.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Take up skydiving if you need to thrill that bad.
That's an all-in or all-out thing. You
Right.
cannot
dip a
just
toe.
mingle
Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah.
on the edge of organized crime. Does not end well for anyone. There's a lot of those characters in The Sopranos too. In fact, I think one of them is an optometrist. He like sells glasses and sunglasses and
That's
shit.
really
it's like
funny.
Johnny Sack's son-in-law. Or
I mean, they
something.
probably fucking pull straight from shit like this.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then who is, so you mentioned earlier, I don't know if you know this about the show, so you mentioned everyone always talks about Hitler. Our joke on the show is because Hitler's like the only bad person from history anyone ever knows about.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking dumb.
They
Yeah.
call
The villain of we ask, who is today's Hitler?
Right.
so they'll call anything Hitler because that's
Right,
the only
that's all
person they
they've
know.
ever heard
That's
of.
like
the
big
worst
bad of
possible
evil.
human comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
So
only-
of
it's
the
only person they
story,
know.
who is the worst person in the story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Capone.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was kind of the
Which is
main guy.
obvious.
You know.
I'm going to go with the nursing home attendants who didn't believe the woman with dementia that was being tormented by ghosts.
Worse than Al Capone.
Yeah, probably. Or the guy that talked the optometrist to kind of hang around.
The optometrist is his own Hitler.
Whoever was enabling the optometrist. That's the Hitler in the story for me.
I wonder if they
Yeah.
just like didn't even like him.
Man seeks to be an alpha. That's the Hitler of the story.
Yeah, he feels weak. He's like, I just do glasses.
Beta man desperately wants alpha approval.
Yeah, gets it.
That never ends well either,
No.
historically.
Oh, hey guys, I'm pretty. What do you need? I'm pretty tough.
And then they don't respect you, so you start to do crazy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, this was back in the day, so it was his version of paying a Navy SEAL to haze him for a week.
You're fucking
Are you referencing Tiger Woods?
kind
Well,
of.
Tiger did do that, yeah.
For like a long time. I
That kind
think.
of broke his body.
Yeah, it was a really bad idea.
No,
feel
there's
like
people these
anybody coulda
days.
told him.
You can pay a Navy SEAL to go to like a boot camp, a fake boot camp, to be a real man.
They'll just yell at you until you're an alpha male.
Is that what Dan Bilzerian did?
I think so.
Speaking of people going to jail for financial crimes.
Yeah, his dad's going back for sure.
Oh, he's fucked.
for
too.
sure.
He's-
Absolutely toast.
I think the funniest part about Dan Bilzerian was he was in the World Series of Poker this year. And I think he was out within 3 hands.
Damn, that's
Solid.
not the
Quick.
story you want to come away from the World Series of Poker with,
Yeah.
because it's many thousands of dollars to enter. Because we're here, wasn't the story? Because I didn't look too far into it. He started Ignite, this weed brand, right? And then the feds last week or the week before indicted his dad because it turns out his dad was actually the one running it, and his dad is not allowed to like run.
It was
any
some
type
sort
of financial
like
stuff?
laundering fraud situation
Yeah.
with that business
Yeah.
where his dad had his hands on like money and business stuff that he shouldn't, but that makes Dan culpable too.
Yeah, he's like fleeing the country. By the way.
Because he was part of the fraud basically. Like
There's going to be a lot of
it was a
crackdown.
criminal conspiracy of which they were both a part.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of crackdown on PPP loans from 2020.
I've seen that too. People are still getting popped for this.
Yeah. I mean, because people straight up just lied about having an LLC. It'd be
Well,
like free money
frankly,
LLC.
They made it really easy
Yeah.
to steal PPP money. They should have made it harder. I get that you still shouldn't do wrong shit, even if that's not an excuse necessarily.
So many people got away with it, though.
Yeah, I've heard of some people not too many degrees removed from us that got like massive PPP loans. I think I got $1,500.
Oh, I got 0. I didn't try it.
We didn't. We didn't
We didn't
have our
exist.
LLC
Yeah.
yet, so we should have.
I had mine, and they gave me $1,500. Didn't do shit.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, you just got an extra stimulus check, basically.
That's it. That was it.
But yeah, that is all I have for today. You can check out Ross Bolen on the Ross Bolen podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, if you want to hear him talk more about mafia shit from time to time, I assume.
Movies, TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? What
If
other
you're
shows?
from Houston, I do a
Oh,
Houston
yeah.
sports show called Banging the Can that I love doing because it's my outlet.
Yeah.
We don't even have sponsors right now. It's just me in there yelling for an
About
hour
Houston
every
sports.
week. Yeah, just miserable.
You're like, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well record it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
mostly
essentially what
a
happened.
fairly chill time for Houston sports. The Astros are still good, and the Texans.
Texans are a Super Bowl contender.
Yes, but they've also not played well a single week this year. So it's like
Wait till they
just
do.
win, baby.
Wait till they do.
I know, but
It
it's
doesn't mean the Chiefs are gonna. It doesn't matter.
yeah, none of this matters. Chiefs got DeAndre Hopkins today, so they're like, and they haven't lost a game, so it wouldn't even
Right.
matter if they didn't get DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
It's just Andy Reid's much better than all the other coaches, I think. On top of Patrick Mahomes being a
It's
generational
okay. At least you don't
quarterback.
have Nick Sirianni.
No, I'm very happy for that. I'm still having fun. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Rob's
Enjoy
right.
the ride.
It is a really
Yeah.
chill time in Houston sports, and if you want to hear me yell about that, I do it on Banging the Can every week. And thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, thanks
I'm
for coming on, man. We appreciate it. So yeah, check all that Ross's shit out. Also, if you want to go way back in time, again, he is a New York Times best-selling author of the Total Frat Move book
Go read a frat book.
by W.R. Bolen, I believe. Is what-
Yeah.
So you don't search Ross.
Do you
well,
still have
probably
people
Club.
hitting you up, being like, "Yo,
No, thank God.
when's the truth gonna come out about
I also
Grand X?"
I also don't know who's. Oh, on occasion, yeah, somebody's like, "When are y'all gonna do like the documentary?" I'm like,
It's like it's
"Brother,
not that
We
interesting.
get that too. Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, my man."
It's just not a
People
fun
would be
story.
very underwhelmed.
But since
Yeah.
you brought up the book, I don't know who gets paid off of that,
that sounds right.
or if like anybody's buying it still.
You
or-
don't get a check.
No,
in the mail.
I'm completely disconnected from it, and I honestly I don't think any of the former Grand X people are connected to it either. I think the publishing company is probably just like collecting very minuscule amounts
Yeah.
of money monthly, but like surely there are college kids out there still reading that fucking thing on occasion.
I guarantee you it's like a Christmas present from like a parent, like, well, you're joined a
Yeah.
fraternity, Jimmy. I got you. Like my dad,
Right.
one Christmas when I was working at TFM, he was like, oh, I got you this book. Like my sweet but like clueless on things of the time dad was
Right.
like, I got you this book. It's kind of like what you do. And it was like Tucker Max.
Tucker Max,
from, like,
yeah,
10
see?
years earlier.
So somebody's getting like $12 a month
Yeah.
off the TFM book, and I don't know
dude,
who it is.
I would look into that solely for the fact that it's still IP that is of value.
That's out there somewhere.
No,
Yeah,
the movie
but-
kind of ruined it.
right. Also, that was
Look,
yeah.
It's better to own IP than not own IP.
Don't get
Again-
me wrong. I like money. I just
Yeah.
it
Kinda-
feels like it would be a wild goose
And
chase to figure it out.
would
To
be.
bring this full circle back to my Hitchbot story, the Canadians did the TFM movie and ruined everything.
Yes.
Oh wow!
They
All
did.
comes back to Canada.
It really is Canada's fault
And,
on that
and
one.
Always
blaming
blame Canada.
South Park style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But yeah, for Dan Regester and Ross Bolen, I'm Rob Fox.
You just got soft served.